Doing our studies in Ein Yacob, we were abruptly cut because of the time on the video. However, I wanted to continue the thought in Berachot on page 62-63, in which we began to look at God, Moses, the Torah, and the people of Israel, how the unity of these elements, God, Moses, the Torah, and the people, bring about an incredible sechut to the rest of the world. In particular, the importance that they're all connected to the very essence of God. Now, we finish with a paragraph stating that they said in Yeshiva of Rabbi Yanai, what is the meaning of the verse? As milk under pressure produces butter, and the nose under pressure produces blood, so does anger under pressure produce strife. This according to Proverbs 30, verse 33. With whom do you find the cream milk of Torah? With a person who spits out milk he sucked from his mother's breast, meaning to become a Torah scholar, one has to begin to study in early childhood. And this is the idea that the more Torah, the more ability to have more information and application of what he's learned through the Torah learning. And a nose, an af, which also means anger, under pressure produces blood. A student who remains silent when his teacher is angry, and when for the first time he will be worthy to be able to distinguish between a clean and unclean blood. Anger under pressure produces strife. Now let me explain that blood and unclean blood. Because when an animal is shecht, or there is blood that it is commanded that we remove from the animal. But there is what's considered unclean blood, which is not permissible to consume. And you have the liquid bloody substance that after having it been soaked many times, that is permissible. Now, we're not going to go into a lot of depth into that because we're looking at something greater in this passage regarding the issue of when someone's under pressure. Many times, great scholars are produced, as we saw with Rambam, under an intense amount of pressure. He became a doctor. He was rejected even by his father, who happened to be a butcher. And as a result, he became a great chacham, a great rabbi of his time. And to show that, the story goes that his father came to recognize that his son, in fact, became a great chacham, a level that many, even of today, has not been able to reach. So anger under pressure produces strife. A student who remains silent when his teacher is angry with him a first and second time will be worthy to decide intricate legal cases dealing with financial matters and capital punishment, as we learn. Rabbi Yishmael said, if you want to become wise, concentrate on studying financial laws. So what an incredible mitzvah that Rabbi Yishmael is giving over to his students and to all of us, Kalal Yisrael, that if you want to become wise, learn the laws of financial laws. There's no section in the Talmud that surpasses them because they are like flowing springs of knowledge. Rabbi Shmuel ben Nachmani said, what is the meaning of the verse? If you have been foolishly novalta, arrogant, if you have been a schemer, a zamota, then clap your hands to your mouth. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 32. Whoever demeans and menalbe himself for the sake of the Torah and is not ashamed to ask questions that may be found foolish, in the end will attain great heights. Great heights. Let's take a look here for a second, because the expression there of mena be'il is an important expression which means it comes from the same root word as novalta. A novalta is a person who has been, you might say, foolishly arrogant. So it comes from the same concept of that. And here we find the importance to be bold in asking questions, even though it's a foolish question, because really there is no dumb question to be asked. Every single one helps one build faith and knowledge in regards to the things of God, things of Torah. So there is no foolish questions. We don't shut people up because the question is not important. We may have to push it aside so when we get to it, but there's no dumb question within the learning of Torah. Whoever demeans him by himself for the sake of Torah and is not ashamed to ask questions that may sound foolish, in the end will attain great heights. But if he restrains himself, zamam, and is ashamed to ask questions, his hand will be on his mouth, and he will be unable to answer when he's asked a question. In other words, if you don't ask questions, you're not going to learn and know what the answer is, and as a result, you yourself you'll have to keep your mouth shut because you don't know. And as we know, the most powerful element that's given to any people is the knowledge of learning, is the knowledge to know that you know that you know. And this, my friends, is what the Jewish people, Israel, has been imbued with, this hunger to know, whether it's in Torah, whether it's in civil law, whether it's in philosophy and the science. And this is why, if you'll take a look at the Nobel Grand Prizes, a great number of them always have been on top, have been the Jewish people. So why not imitate what is good and what is right? Attach yourselves to the learning of Torah. And this could be done so near to you. There's so much Torah being diffused throughout the world through social media. It's incredible. Before, when we started this whole entire series, there were very few rabbis, very few teachers of Torah online. Now, you cannot not see that there's so much Torah learning throughout the medias, throughout the means, throughout Facebook, throughout YouTube, throughout all types of channels, WhatsApp channels for learning and understanding, to ask questions. So really plug yourself in. If you really want to know God, you really want to know Torah, you really want to know the Jewish people, you really want to know what Moses was all about, plug into some of these mediums. These medias are everywhere. So when you connect to knowledge. And when you connect with knowledge, you will be affected by it. Shalom, bracha, have a wonderful morning.